What is going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for being a part of Lakers Talk Daily. This one, unfortunately, is going to be off the loss of the Los Angeles Lakers to the Indiana Pacers last night, 116-115. I got a couple things I want to get into. I more than anything just want to talk about the Lakers at the end of games, and specifically LeBron James and Anthony Davis, just my perspective on that. So, obviously, a heartbreaking loss by the Lakers yesterday, but it's on them. You know, sometimes you lose games and you say, oh, you know, the other team, the Pacers were just better. It was back and forth. It could have gone either way. Lakers had a 17-point lead. I don't have to repeat this whole thing. I know we all know what the results were, but yesterday was so disappointing, very disappointing. And I think a lot of Laker fans, if you were thinking, Lakers are about to get their 6th win in 7 games. I'm obviously at the arena. Crowd's feeling good. Lakers feeling good. I think Lakers were up maybe 13 or so when I left and came across the street to start getting ready for the post-game show. And then before you know it, we got a freaking game. Here's my problem with the end of the game last night. By the way, throw your comments here, as always. And it's the first time you've been on our YouTube channel for ESPN LA. Please subscribe to the channel. Would appreciate it. We're putting up content on a daily basis. Okay. Problem at the end of the game. Couple things. Number one, Anthony Davis took 2 shots in the fourth quarter. 2 shots in the fourth quarter. The first person I blame for Anthony Davis taking 2 shots in the fourth quarter is Anthony Davis. AD's just got to get the ball more. He does. And, you know, you want to reach a point where Anthony Davis becomes that player that is almost yelling at his teammates, do you know who the hell I am? Have you seen the numbers I've been putting up these last couple of weeks? Give me the damn ball and let me close this game out. That's number one. That's what I'd like to see from Anthony Davis. I'm sure every Laker fan would as well. However, I think there's more to it than just that. There is an adjustment period right now that's happening, in my opinion, that's going to happen with LeBron James at this stage of his career. He's in his 20th year in the league, and obviously LeBron James, just naturally, you log this many minutes, and you might have games like he did on Saturday night against the San Antonio Spurs, where he dropped 39 points, was very efficient from the field. Or you're going to have nights like you did last night when it wasn't as efficient and the ball wasn't falling in, and there were too many times in that fourth quarter where the ball wasn't moving, and it was just dribble the ball, isolation basketball. And every time I see that, I think it's a killer for the Lakers, and I think it's a big advantage for the opposing team. Hated seeing Bron take 22 shots, AD take 15. AD was 9 of 15. Bron was 8 of 22. Obviously, from an efficiency perspective, Anthony Davis is going to be much more efficient because a lot of the shots that he's taken is closer to the basket. Bron took 10 threes yesterday, hit 3 of them. So, like I said, the Lakers just got to be smarter, and I'm very curious to see Bron and Anthony Davis adjust to what is happening here over the last couple of weeks. AD has looked like the best player in the NBA over the stretch of the last couple of weeks. I'm not telling you that he is, and I'm not telling you that crown him the MVP, but he's put up MVP type of numbers in this small sample size. You got to milk that. And I don't think this is something, that's why I'm so curious when AD was doing this without Bron, and then Bron put up his numbers without AD on Saturday. That's all great and dandy, but the key for the Lakers is these two together. You take their skill set, and how much does that, obviously give an advantage to the Lakers? And I thought last night, all of a sudden it became isolation basketball. All of a sudden the ball wasn't moving. All of a sudden the main guy who should, if anyone's posting up, it should be Anthony Davis. It should be AD trying to get to the line. It should be AD being the aggressive one. It should be AD throwing the ball out during double teams when he gets doubled or anything along those lines. And I didn't feel like that was the case in the fourth quarter. Bron is going to have to kind of go through this transition that I don't think he's ever gone through in his entire career. He's not the best player on the Lakers anymore. And that's not a criticism towards him. He's 20 years in the NBA. AD's 29 years old. So we've all been waiting this. We all actually were hoping this would happen a couple years ago where AD would take over the Lakers. AD would be the best player on the Lakers. AD would be the go-to player on the Lake Show. Well, if it's happening right now, I think it's happening late. We all wish it happened earlier, but AD dealt with his issues. He's been had his health issues the last couple of years, but this year, at least up to this point, he looks healthy, he looks fresh, he looks ready to go. I want everything to run through Anthony Davis. I don't like looking at the box score and seeing that Bron took 22 shots and AD only took 15. And I'm not telling you that's the only reason why the Lakers lost the game yesterday, but I do look at those late game, 6 minutes left to go, Why is not everything running through Anthony Davis? Everything, every possession. I know double teams are going to come. That's fine. Let AD make that decision. AD's, I think, good at making that decision. But what I don't want to see is isolation basketball, because I really do think the Lakers hurt themselves. When that ball is moving and you don't know if Lonnie Walker's going to get it or Austin Reeves is going to get it or Wenyen Gabriel's getting it on a cut, or just go down the list of different guys that the Lakers have that can contribute, that's when they're most dangerous. When I think they're at their worst is when that ball is sticking, when it's not being moved. And if it is going to stick and it is going to be on the block with somebody, let it be Anthony Davis. Let AD go 15, 20 free throw attempts. Let AD get the 20, 25 shot attempts. That's where I'd like to see the Lakers be on the offensive end. Lakers took their foot off the gas, and the Indiana Pacers were down 17 points with about 9.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They took their foot off the gas. They thought the game was over. And then before you know it, they just hung around long enough. They're down 11. They're down 8. They're down 5. They're down 3. It's a tie game. And, in the NBA, you give any team a shot and you start giving them confidence. You make it very, very dangerous. And the Lakers shot themselves in the foot. And this will be a game. I said it last night at the postgame show. I'll say it again. This will be a game that we're going to look back on. When you start looking at those NBA standings, and we'll see where the Lakers are, down the road. But when you start looking at those NBA standings, you start asking yourself, man, we're only 2 games back of this, or only a game behind this. We're going to think of the game against the Indiana Pacers on whatever the date was. We're going to think about this game, and it could come back to haunt the Lakers. Unfortunately, this happens in the NBA. I could also say, well, they got lucky against the Pelicans, and should they really have won that game? So maybe things just balance each other out. But there's 2 games so far for the Lakers that stand out to me. Blazers game, Game 3 of the season, up 7, 2 minutes left to go. Lakers lost that game. And the game last night against the Indiana Pacers, where they lost by 1 off a buzzer beater, but they were up 17 points in the fourth quarter. Laker fans, give me your thoughts. What do you think? Am I making a good case here that how you want to see the Lakers offense flow in the fourth? Obviously, the Lakers made a ton of mistakes. Hopefully, they learn from it. They got another chance tomorrow coming up against the Portland Trailblazers. I'll be back on tomorrow doing one of these, previewing a little bit of that Lakers-Blazers game. And please tune in all day today. Have the show. Obviously, all the local shows, plus Lakers Talk tonight at 7 o'clock. Thank you for being a part of the show. Laker fans, hope you guys have a great rest of your day.